Right now, somewhere in this world, a conversation is happening that will change everything. A handshake is moving millions of dollars. A phone call is creating an empire. And you're not in that room. Why? Because you don't know the rules. You think networking is about being nice, sending LinkedIn messages, hoping someone notices you. You think power comes through hard work and patience. You think the right people will find you if you're just good enough. You're wrong, and that wrongness is costing you everything. The brutal truth, the most powerful people don't connect with the best people. They connect with the smartest people. Those who understand the invisible rules of power. Those who position themselves not as beggars asking for favors, but as assets too valuable to ignore. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this 500 years ago. He watched princes rise and fall, saw advisors gain impossible influence, witnessed nobodies become somebodies through strategic positioning alone. He documented the ruthless laws, separating those who accessed power from those who merely dreamed about it. Today, I'm sharing those laws with you. Not the sanitized version you hear at networking events, the real version that actually works. The version powerful people use but never discuss publicly. Warning: once you understand these laws, you can't unknow them. You'll see the game everywhere. You'll never look at networking, relationships, or power the same way again. Now, before we begin, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I am strategically valuable. Say it out loud. Mean it. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what that means and how to make it true. Let's start with the most important truth that nobody wants to admit. Law 1. Never approach power from below. Reaching out to successful people asking for advice or opportunities feels humble and right. It's your worst move. When you approach from need, you become a cost, not an asset. Powerful people receive dozens of daily requests for time, advice, and opportunities. Your polite email is just noise, number 47 in an endless queue. Machiavelli observed that princes surround themselves with problem solvers, not problem creators. Everyone in a powerful person's circle provides value that justifies their presence. They didn't ask nicely, they earned it. Powerful people network sideways and up, connecting with peers and those who have what they need. Position yourself beneath them, and you've already lost. The solution? Don't approach at all. Position yourself where power discovers you. Create value that makes you impossible to ignore. Build something, solve something, know something that makes them seek you out. Lions don't chase gazelles begging to be eaten. They hunt ones that look strong and worth the effort. Powerful people are attracted to those who don't need them. Those are the people worth having. Change your question from, how can I get close to powerful people, to what can I build that makes them want to get close to me? That distance separates being ignored from being pursued. Law 2. Create scarcity around your presence. Most people think availability is a virtue. They answer every email immediately, say yes to every meeting, and make themselves maximally accessible because it seems eager and professional. This is exactly backwards. Scarcity creates value. Abundance destroys it. When you're always available, your time becomes worthless. When powerful people can reach you anytime, there's no urgency. When you say yes to everything, your yes means nothing. Machiavelli noted that princes who were too accessible lost their mystique and power. The most influential advisors were hard to reach. Their time was precious, their attention earned. Look at truly powerful people. Are they constantly available? Do they respond instantly? Of course not. Their time is protected like a fortress. Getting 30 minutes with them feels like winning a prize, which is exactly why people value it highly. Create this dynamic around yourself, even before your accomplishments justify it. This doesn't mean rudeness. It means strategic availability. Stop responding instantly. Wait. Let people wonder when you respond. Make it valuable, not instant. Stop saying yes to every coffee meeting. Be selective. Every pointless networking hour could be spent building something that actually matters. Make availability conditional. I have 20 minutes Thursday between meetings. Signals more value than I'm free whenever. When you create scarcity, people treat your time as valuable because you treat it as valuable. They come prepared. They bring their A-game. They respect the opportunity. And powerful people notice when someone's time is valued by others. It makes them curious. It makes them want access to what others are seeking. Scarcity is the foundation of perceived value. Master it, and you've mastered connecting with power. Law 3. Never reveal your full capability. Your instinct is to showcase all your skills immediately to prove your worth. You want powerful people to see everything you can do. This is catastrophic. When you reveal everything up front, you kill curiosity. There's nothing left to discover, no mystery, no reason to keep engaging. You've already shown what you offer. Worse, showing all your cards makes you look desperate, like you're trying too hard for validation rather than deserving attention. Machiavelli understood that influential courtiers revealed capabilities gradually, strategically, at perfect moments. They kept talents hidden until opportunities arose to deploy them, creating an impression of depth. Think about intriguing people you've met. They didn't reveal everything in the first conversation. Each discovery made them more interesting, made you want to know more. Create this dynamic with powerful people. If you excel at data analysis, design, and strategy, don't lead with all three. Demonstrate one brilliantly. When another skill becomes relevant, reveal it casually. Oh, you need presentation help? I can throw together some visuals if it helps. Not, I'm also an expert designer. Let me show you my portfolio. The first seems helpful and casually talented. The second seems like a sales pitch. This protects you strategically. When powerful people don't know your full capability, they can't assess your limits. They assume you're capable of even more, keeping you interesting. Show 60% initially. Keep 40% in reserve. Deploy it strategically as situations demand, creating the impression you're deeper and more valuable than anyone realized. The goal isn't deception, it's perpetual interest. Be the person with one more card to play, one more skill to reveal. Powerful people are bored. Everyone tries impressing them identically. Be the mystery they want to solve, the asset whose full value they're still discovering. Law 4. Solve problems before being asked. Most people wait for powerful people to present problems, then offer help. This makes you reactive, forgettable, just like everyone else. Winners solve problems before they're even articulated. This requires observation, anticipation, and courage to act without permission. It requires understanding powerful people's worlds well enough to spot gaps, pain points, and unspoken needs. Machiavelli wrote that valued advisors weren't those who gave good advice when asked. They saw problems coming before the prince did and had solutions ready before crises hit. Here's how it works. Identify someone powerful you want to connect with. Don't reach out immediately. Study them. What are they building? What challenges are they facing? What problems typically arise in their situation? Where are the gaps? Then solve one of those problems. Actually solve it. Create something real, tangible, immediately useful. Say you want to connect with a successful entrepreneur. You notice their blog gets traffic, but terrible engagement. So you analyze their top posts, identify patterns, and create a detailed content strategy with specific recommendations. Now you have value to offer. Not, I could help with content. But I analyzed your content strategy and created this framework that could increase engagement by 40%. You're not asking for anything, you're giving first, something they didn't know they needed, but immediately recognize as valuable. This demonstrates competence without claiming it. The work speaks. It shows you're action-oriented. It proves you understand their world enough to add value immediately. Critically, it shifts power dynamics. You're no longer asking for opportunity. You're providing value. The conversation starts from a completely different place. This isn't working for free endlessly. It's strategic investment, creating value that opens doors. The initial work is admission price. Once you're in, once you've demonstrated capability, then discuss arrangements. But first, get in the door. Solving problems before being asked is the master key. Law 5. Associate yourself with rising forces. Most people chase those already at power's peak. The biggest names, most established players, people everyone knows. This is the most competitive, difficult, and least rewarding approach. Smart people connect with rising forces, people ascending, individuals and organizations not yet at the peak, but clearly headed there. When you attach yourself to rising forces early, you rise with them. Machiavelli observed that powerful courtiers weren't always serving the current king. They identified and supported the future king while still a prince. When that prince took power, early supporters became his most trusted, most rewarded inner circle. Think strategically. Connecting with someone at their peak means competing with hundreds for attention. They're surrounded with established relationships. They don't need new connections unless you offer something extraordinary. But someone rising, they're building their team, seeking allies. They're accessible because they haven't been overwhelmed yet. They remember early believers. When they reach the top, they bring those people with them. How to identify rising forces? Look for 3 signals: momentum, growing, expanding, gaining attention; capability, skills and resources to sustain growth; and positioning, right place, right time, in growing fields. Someone with all 3 is likely on a trajectory toward significant power. Connect now while it's easy, and you'll have access later when it's nearly impossible. This strategy gives you multiple bets. 10 attempts at the peak will likely yield 0. 10 with rising forces. Several will succeed, and you'll rise with them. Critical part: don't be transactional. Genuinely add value. Help them, support their journey, contribute to their success. The paradox: the less you look like you're using them, the more valuable the relationship becomes. People who helped without expecting returns are trusted most. This isn't manipulation. It's strategic relationship building with mutual growth opportunities before everyone else recognizes them. Law 6. Master the art of strategic silence. You talk too much. Almost everyone does. We think impressing people means showing how much we know by telling them everything. This is precisely wrong with powerful people. Powerful people are surrounded by noise. Everyone wants to tell them something, sell them something, convince them of something. The person who talks less stands out dramatically. Machiavelli wrote that the most dangerous person in any room speaks least, but understands most. Silence isn't weakness. It's a weapon for gathering information, creating tension, and commanding attention. When you're silent, several things happen. First, you listen more effectively. You hear what people don't say. You notice patterns and opportunities talkers miss while planning their next words. Second, silence creates discomfort. People fill voids by revealing more than intended, sharing information they wouldn't have otherwise. Third, silence makes your words more valuable. When you speak rarely, people pay attention. Your words carry weight because they're scarce. Fourth, silence protects you. You can't reveal strategies, weaknesses, or intentions if you're not speaking. The less powerful people can evaluate, the harder you are to categorize and dismiss. Practice strategic silence. Speak 30% of the time maximum. Ask questions instead of making statements. What do you think? Is more powerful than sharing your thoughts. When asked your opinion, pause 3 seconds. This signals careful thought and creates tension that makes people lean in. Don't explain yourself unnecessarily. Let decisions speak for themselves. Justifying everything signals insecurity. Confidence doesn't explain, it simply is. Watch powerful people. They speak less, ask more questions, let silence stretch without rushing to fill it. They make others uncomfortable with quiet while remaining perfectly comfortable. This isn't being rude. You can be warm and engaged while strategically quiet. Listen more than you speak. Learn more than you teach. Make every word count. Law 7. Never compete directly with power. When meeting someone powerful, your instinct might be demonstrating your own power, success, or capability to prove you're worthy of their time. This triggers their defensive instincts immediately. Powerful people didn't get there by accepting challenges to their status. When you present yourself as their equal or competitor, even subtly, you create tension. You become a potential threat rather than asset. Threats get eliminated or avoided. Machiavelli warned that threatening a prince's position is the fastest way to lose favor. Advisors who lasted made the prince feel more powerful, not less. This doesn't mean being subservient. It means being strategic about presentation. There's a massive difference between demonstrating competence and demonstrating competition. Demonstrating competence says, I have valuable skills that could benefit you. Demonstrating competition says, I'm as good as you. The first invites collaboration. The second invites conflict. Say you're conversing with a successful business owner and you also own a business. Don't position yours as comparable or competing. Wrong. Yes, I also run a company. We've grown 300% this year and we're revolutionizing our industry. Right. I run a small operation in a different space. I'd love to understand how you scaled yours. I'm facing some of those challenges now. The first positions you as rival, the second as respectful learner acknowledging their superior experience. Which would you rather help? Don't post content challenging powerful people you want to connect with. Don't publicly demonstrate superiority in their known strengths. Don't make yourself look like an alternative to them. Instead, be complementary. Fill gaps they don't fill. Handle what they don't want to handle. Amplify their work rather than competing with it. Make powerful people feel having you around makes them more powerful, not less. That you add to their status rather than threatening it. This doesn't mean hiding capabilities. It means presenting them in ways that serve rather than challenge. When powerful people feel secure around you, they open doors. But if they see competition, those doors stay locked forever. Law 8. Provide value without explanation. Most people, when helping someone, feel compelled to explain it, contextualize it, ensure the person understands the effort involved. This destroys the value immediately. When you explain your generosity, you transform a gift into a transaction. You're saying, "I did this, now you owe me acknowledgement." This creates obligation, not gratitude, discomfort, not appreciation. Machiavelli observed that the most effective way to create loyalty is through benefits that appear costless but provide great value. Once recipients realize the cost, gratitude becomes debt. Powerful people hate feeling indebted. They hate sensing someone's keeping score, that someone wants something in return. When you help then highlight your help, you trigger these negative responses. Instead, provide value silently, help without announcement, solve problems without pointing it out, give without keeping receipts. Say a powerful person is speaking at a conference, you send them, "I saw you're speaking at this event. Here's research on audience demographics and trending topics that might help. Thought it might be useful." Then you send it. That's it. No follow-up asking if they found it helpful. No mention of how long it took. No suggestion they owe you anything. You provided value and moved on. Either they ignore it, meaning they weren't the right connection, or they reach out to thank and engage you. But if they engage, it's their choice, not your demand. This creates genuine goodwill without pressure. Value stands alone without obligations, baggage. Paradoxically, this makes reciprocation more likely because it's voluntary, not demanded. Do this repeatedly, providing value without explanation or expectation, and you build reputation. You become someone who helps without agenda, adds value without scorekeeping, focuses on contribution over transaction. Powerful people desperately want people like this. Everyone around them wants something, has an angle, keeps score. Someone who genuinely helps without obvious ulterior motive stands out dramatically. The key is patience. Don't expect immediate returns. Provide value consistently over time. Build a pattern demonstrating you genuinely add value without complication. Eventually, powerful people notice. Eventually, they reach out. Eventually, they want you in their circle because you've proven you make their life better without making it complicated. This builds lasting relationships with power. Not through networking tactics, but through consistent, unexplained value that speaks for itself. Law 9. Control your emotional display. Emotion is weakness in power's eyes. Not having emotions, but displaying them uncontrollably. When you let emotions show freely, you give others leverage. They see what excites you, threatens you, what you desperately want. This information becomes their weapon. Machiavelli emphasized that successful operators masked true feelings. They appeared calm when furious, indifferent when desperate, confident when terrified. This wasn't dishonesty. It was strategic emotional management. Powerful people constantly assess for weakness. Emotional volatility is most obvious. Get angry easily? They'll manipulate by triggering anger. Overly excited? You're controlled through hope. Show fear? They know where to apply pressure. This doesn't mean becoming emotionless. It means being intentional about which emotions you display and when. Your face should reveal what you want, not what you're actually feeling. When powerful people offer opportunities, resist showing excessive excitement. That's interesting. Let me think about how I could make that work, is more powerful than, oh my God, yes, absolutely, thank you. The first maintains power, the second surrenders it. When criticized or challenged, resist emotional defense. That's worth thinking about, or a thoughtful nod communicates, you're unshakable. Criticism doesn't destabilize you. This extends to success and failure. Don't celebrate excessively when winning. Don't despair visibly when losing. Maintain equilibrium. Powerful people respect steadiness because steadiness signals strength. Here's a practical exercise for you. For 1 week, respond to everything with a 3-second delay. Before reacting to any news, comment, or situation, pause 3 seconds. Choose your response rather than defaulting to emotional reaction. This pause creates impressions of thoughtfulness, control, and deliberateness. It prevents regrettable statements. It keeps you from revealing information through emotional reaction. The goal isn't becoming robotic. It's becoming sovereign over emotional expression. Feel deeply, but reveal strategically. Become someone powerful. People can't read easily, and therefore can't manipulate. Master this, and you become dangerous in the best way. Someone playing the game at levels most never reach. Someone maintaining power through mystery. Someone connecting with power because power recognizes a fellow player. Law 10. Build systems, not relationships. Individual relationships with powerful people are fragile and unpredictable. Systems that connect you to power are durable, scalable, and work regardless of who likes you. Most people chase specific powerful individuals one at a time, investing enormous energy into each relationship. This is inefficient and unreliable. Machiavelli understood the most secure power came from institutional systems that made you indispensable, regardless of who was in charge. He advised creating positions and processes that survive leadership changes. Instead of befriending powerful people, build systems that make them come to you. Create platforms, communities, or resources they need. Rather than connecting with influential entrepreneurs individually, create a mastermind group where they want membership. You're no longer asking for access, you're granting it. The power dynamic flips completely. Instead of getting powerful people to notice your work, create a newsletter or podcast covering their industry valuably. Now they're incentivized to build relationships with you because you control attention in their space. You're moving from asking for access to controlling it. From seeking attention to commanding it. From being one of many to being someone power needs. This takes longer than networking, but once built, systems work continuously without constant hustling. Spend 2 years building relationships with 10 people. You have 10 relationships. Spend 2 years building a system that attracts powerful people. You have infinite potential relationships. Practical approaches. Create valuable niche content until you're the authority. Host events powerful people want to attend. Build tools, solving their specific problems. Develop expertise where they need guidance. These flip the script from seeking value to providing it. From asking for access to controlling it. When you build systems that attract power, individual relationships don't matter. Your system keeps producing access regardless of anyone's mood or status. Connect with power through durable structural positioning, not fragile personal relationships. Through what you've built that makes you worth knowing. Law 11. Understand their real needs, not their stated needs. Powerful people tell you what they think they need. Most people address these statements directly. This is amateur hour. What powerful people say they need and what they actually need are often completely different. Their stated needs are surface manifestations of deeper, unspoken needs they may not even recognize. Machiavelli understood that princes claimed they wanted loyal advisors, but really wanted security. They said they wanted honest counsel, but really wanted validation. They requested solutions to specific problems, but needed someone who made them feel more powerful. A powerful person might say they need marketing strategy, help. But dig deeper. Maybe they need validation, their product is valuable. Maybe they need confidence, their vision is sound. Maybe they need someone who makes them feel less alone in decision-making. Address just the marketing strategy. You're providing commodity value anyone could provide. Address the deeper need, you become irreplaceable. How do you identify real versus stated needs? Listen to what they discuss repeatedly. Notice what makes them emotional. Pay attention to what they avoid discussing. Observe their behavior over their words. Real needs usually fall into these categories: security, status, legacy, validation, control, belonging, purpose. Almost every stated need proxies for one of these deeper drives. Someone tells you they need better business systems. Surface level. Build systems. But maybe the real need is security. They're growing fast and feel out of control. Understanding this deeper need, you don't just build systems. You build systems giving them visibility and control. You emphasize how these systems create security. You position your solution as strategic security, not tactical help. This requires emotional intelligence most people never develop. You must be genuinely curious about what drives people. Ask questions going beneath the surface. Pay attention to subtext and energy. Master this skill, you become invaluable. You're not just solving problems. You're fulfilling needs at levels most people never access, creating loyalty tactical problem-solving never could. Law 12. Position yourself at strategic crossroads. Where you position yourself in networks, industries, and communities determines who you access and who accesses you. Most people position themselves at edges. In one industry, one network, one community. They become deep specialists in narrow areas, valuable within that context, but invisible to power elsewhere. Smart people position themselves at crossroads where different networks, industries, or communities intersect, where people from different worlds meet, where value flows between previously disconnected domains. Machiavelli observed the most influential people in Italian politics weren't always at the center of a single city-state. They moved between city-states, carrying information, making connections, facilitating relationships that wouldn't exist without them. When you position yourself at crossroads, you become a bridge. Bridges control flow. Information, opportunities, and connections flow through you. This makes you visible to powerful people in multiple domains simultaneously. Instead of being one of thousands seeking attention in a single network, you're one of a handful connecting multiple networks. Identify strategic crossroads by looking where two or more valuable networks or industries intersect, but don't naturally communicate. Technology and healthcare, finance and environmental sustainability, entertainment and education, business and politics. These intersections hold highest value because they're underserved. Most people stay safely within one domain. Those who speak multiple languages, understand multiple contexts, and move fluidly between worlds become incredibly valuable. Position yourself there. not by claiming unearned expertise, but by genuinely developing understanding of multiple domains. Read broadly, engage with different industries, build relationships across traditional boundaries. Become the person who translates between worlds. Powerful people seek you out not because you're the best in any single domain, but because you connect domains in ways others can't. This positioning protects you. When you're only valuable in one domain, changes can destroy your value overnight. Positioned at crossroads, you have multiple sources of value, multiple networks that need you. The most connected people aren't the deepest experts in any field. They're connectors across fields, valuable because of position, not depth. Law 13. Exit before you're dismissed. Never overstay your welcome. Never let relationships with powerful people stagnate into familiarity. Never become so comfortable you lose the edge that made you interesting. The moment a powerful person takes you for granted, you've lost strategic value. Machiavelli warned that advisors who stayed too long always fell from grace, not from wrongdoing, but because familiarity breeds contempt. What was once valuable becomes expected. Proximity dulls shine. Successful courtiers knew when to step back, create distance, exit before being asked. This preserved their reputation and kept relationships valuable. Most people do the opposite. They cling to positions and relationships long after they've stopped being mutually beneficial. They mistake access for value, proximity for power. This is how you become irrelevant, not by leaving too early, but by staying too long. Exit before the powerful person avoids your calls, before opportunities dry up, before you sense energy changing, before you become furniture rather than a valued asset. This doesn't mean burning bridges. It means strategically creating space, becoming less available, focusing energy elsewhere, letting relationships breathe. What happens? Either the powerful person doesn't notice, the relationship had already lost value, or they reach back out with renewed appreciation and better opportunities. By creating space before dismissal, you maintain power. You exit on your terms, preserving reputation and leverage. This applies to specific interactions, too. Know when conversations should end. Don't linger after meetings conclude. Don't send 5 emails when 3 suffice. Master the exit. Make it graceful, timely, strategic. Leave people wanting more rather than wishing you'd left sooner. You now understand the 13 ruthless laws of connecting with powerful people. Not the comfortable version, the real version that actually works. These laws aren't about manipulation. They're about strategic positioning, understanding human psychology and power dynamics at levels most people never reach. Becoming someone powerful people want to connect with rather than someone begging for connection. But understanding isn't enough. You must implement them, practice them, make them instinctive. Start with one law, master it, move to the next. Over time, these principles become automatic. You'll see opportunities others miss, connect with people others can't reach, build networks that transform your life. Remember, powerful people don't connect with the best people. They connect with the smartest people, those who understand the game, those who play at their level. You're now one of those people. Use this knowledge wisely, ethically. Create value, don't just extract it. If this video transformed how you think about power and connection, hit that like button. If you want more raw truth about how the world actually works, subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you know someone who needs to understand these laws, share this video with them. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am strategically positioned for power. The game has always been happening. You just couldn't see it before. Now you can. Now you know the rules. Now you can play to win.